In the heart of human mythology and religion lies the ancient symbol of the tree of life, revered across many cultures including Christianity, Islam, Norse mythology, and beyond. But what do they mean by the tree of life actually? Where does this concept come from? And what are the difference between the scientific and theological descriptions about it? The origins of the tree of life metaphor are difficult to trace, but the tree of life, in its many forms, is one of the most enduring and universal symbols in human history. It's a representation of growth, interconnectedness, and the cyclical nature of life and death. In religious contexts, it's often linked to immortality, divine knowledge, or the creation of humanity. The idea can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamian culture around 3000 BCE, appearing in mythologies such as the Sumerian story of Gilgamesh, where the hero seeks immortality. It also shows up in Egyptian mythology, where it represents birth, death, and resurrection. However, it is in the biblical story of Genesis that the tree of life takes on its most iconic form. Placed in the Garden of Eden alongside the tree of knowledge, it is said to grant eternal life. For centuries, this image shaped the way humans thought about their place in the universe, as created beings seeking redemption, subject to divine authority. While these religious stories might offer insight into early human attempts to understand life and the universe, modern science provides a completely different framework. In science, the tree of life is a biological tool illustrating the relationships between all living and extinct species on Earth. It takes the form of a diagram with a trunk that branches into intricate parts, each representing new life forms. For Charles Darwin, often credited with its modern scientific inception, his theory of evolution provided a mechanism for the branching of this tree, using it to explain how different species have all evolved from one another. In the 19th century, Charles Darwin was the first who suggested that all life on Earth actually originated from one single ancestor and began the work of filling out the branches. Later, researchers have now identified what they believe to be the last universal common ancestor named LUCA. LUCA is a cell that existed about 4.2 billion years ago, our common ancestor from which all life evolved. From LUCA, the tree of life splits into three primary domains: bacteria, eukarya, and archaea. These domains form the foundation of the tree, with each domain further branching into more specific groups of life. Unlike the theological view, which claims life was created in its present form, the scientific evolutionary model clearly demonstrates how all living organisms, from the tiniest microbes to complex humans, are all part of the same unbroken chain of genetic relationships. Tracing the branches of the tree of life reveals how closely related all the different species really are. When you look at the tree, the fewer the branches are between two species, the closer their relationship. This visual representation helps us better understand the connections among all living things. Historically, scientists based the tree of life on physical observations of animals. Today, DNA analysis allows for a more accurate depiction of these relationships by comparing genetic material between species. By sequencing DNA, scientists can directly trace the lineage of all species back to the earliest life form, all the way back to single-celled organisms that appeared around 3.5 billion years ago. From there, life gradually diversified through natural selection, mutation, and adaptation to their environment. One of the key differences between the theological and scientific perspectives on the tree of life is how they explain the origins of humanity. Creationism, particularly the literal interpretation found in some religious traditions, claims that all life was created in its present form, dismissing evolutionary processes entirely. Catholic theology also traditionally places humanity at the center of creation, often presenting a special, divinely ordained role for humans. But modern science shows us a different reality. Human beings, like all other species, are the result of millions of years of evolution. The fossil record provides clear evidence that modern humans evolved from earlier hominid species over the course of approximately 6 million years. We are able to see the previous life forms that existed, and it's clear that we are not separate from the rest of the animal kingdom, but an integral part of it. Genetic studies such as mitochondrial DNA analysis have also confirmed that all humans share a common ancestor. But this ancestor was not the Adam and Eve of religious lore. It was a population of early humans that lived in Africa around 200,000 years ago. Today, further DNA analysis continues to show that the foundational relationships represented on the tree are absolutely accurate. New data is constantly added and more relationships are being confirmed every day. The process of mapping out the evolutionary relationships among species based on their genetic similarities and differences is its own science. If you are listening, maybe you one day could also join this exciting and ever-evolving field of scientific study called phylogenetics. But so far, I would say, the most fascinating discovery is that life on Earth is incredibly diverse, yet remarkably unified, and that every living thing does share a common ancestor named Luca. In conclusion, while the theological concept of the tree of life may still hold symbolic value for many, its true power lies in the scientific applications and knowledge it represents. The tree of life is a vital tool for scientists. It helps identify new candidates for pharmaceutical treatments and provides insights into the history of life and extinction rates, amongst other things. So, the next time you hear about the tree of life, remember, it's more than just a symbol. It's a testament to the beauty, complexity, and unity of all life on Earth. And unlike the myths of old, this tree of life is backed by the best science we have. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into science, history, and beyond.